Hello everyone, Dr. V here today. So today for Mental Health and I want to share a short true story. It's actually not a short story, but I'm summarizing the story. And there is a reason I would like to share this true story with all of you, but let me share this true story first. So I just want to talk a little bit about a real life hero. Her name is Lisa McVey. So Lisa McVey, at the age of 14, so this happened in the 80s. So at the age of 14, she was sent to live with a grandma because her mom was not able to raise her and her sister. So she came from a broken home, no father, so only mother. So the mother sent her to the grandma's house. But she went happily to the grandma's house, because she thought that she could take care of herself, come up a little bit, earn some money, and take care of her little sister. But what happened was something sinister was actually waiting for her there in the form of a grandma's boyfriend. So what happened since the age of 14 or almost 15, since the time she moved in with the grandma, he was literally molesting her and raping her every night at gunpoint. The grandma actually asked her to keep quiet about it and just to abide by her boyfriend. So for 2 years, Lisa McVey was struggling so much. She was so depressed and she was so frustrated and she was giving up in her life. And one day, when she was almost going to turn 17, she was already 17, I think. At that particular time, she decided to kill herself. So she works at a donut store. She usually works the late shift and her shift finishes usually at 2 a.m. So that morning, before she went to her work, she wrote a suicidal note. She has been battling with suicidal ideations for a long time now, and she finally decided to give up because she could not go on keeping quiet without getting help and getting raped every day. So she wrote the suicide note, and after that she went to work. But before that, she spoke to her sister. And what happened was, when she was coming back from work, she was all ready to kill herself with the gun that the grandma's boyfriend uses to, threaten her every night. But as she was cycling home, she was ambushed and she was kidnapped by a serial killer. At that point of time, she didn't know that he was a serial killer. He kidnapped her. He raped her and he blindfolded her, and then he brought her to his old flat or some kind of apartment, and he continued to rape and torture her for the next 26 hours. But during that period of time, Lisa McVey realized that she's not going to give her life to this guy. She's not going to let this guy kill her brutally, and she's not going to give up. She decided to fight till the end. So she was nice to him. She did not fight him each time he wanted to rape her, and each time he abused her. She just allowed him to do so because she didn't want to get killed if she refutes his advances. And also she left her fingerprint, she left her hairpin, she left as much as she can evidences, so that if she dies, the police can still find her. And what happened was, he decided to kill her anyway. So he drove her and he parked in a secluded area. And before he pulled the trigger, she was still literally begging for her life, and she told him that she was nice to him and she really hoped that he would spare her life. And lucky for her, he spared her life just because she was very nice to him, and he spared her life. And when she opened her blindfold, the very first thing that she saw was this huge tree right in front of her, and she realized that she was still alive, and she decided that she was not gonna die. She survived hell, and she realized at that point of time it was not worth dying, but it was worth fighting to live. So after that, eventually she helped the police, and they managed to arrest the serial killer. It was a huge news at the time. She helped the police department, and she eventually became a policewoman herself in the same department years later when she was an adult. So why I'm sharing this true story to you is to actually talk to you and share with you about suicide and suicidal ideations or suicidal attempts. Well, suicide is always the last option someone seeks for when he or she is literally giving up in their life. in their lives, because it's like, the feeling is just too much and they cannot bear. I mean, like, we literally can't bear the pain any longer, and we think that, if we don't wake up at all after this, then everything is going to be sorted. But why I'm particularly bringing up this story, I'm sharing this story with you, is because Lisa McVey had the same suicidal ideation that many of us sometimes will have in a daily basis, fighting triggers that really, pulls our motivation down and make us feel so low that we come to a point that we want to give up in life. The same thing happened to Lisa McVey in the face of a grandma's boyfriend and a very broken home, and she did not have anything else that could save her. But she realized at that particular time, when she was in the hands of a monstrous human being who wanted to rip her life apart, she was not ready to give up her life to that. And when she realized that, she lived and she fought that whole situation. She fought the feelings, she fought the frustration and the agony she went through for that 26 hours, including those 3 years she went through with the grandma's boyfriend. And she brought this man to justice, and she saved many women's lives as well. She stopped him from killing after kidnapping her. So what I'm trying to say is, in life we can never escape challenges, we can never run away from frustrations, we can never escape people who are mean to us, we can never escape situations that would turn our world upside down. We can never escape this if we are human beings. If we are born as a human being, we are unique, and we are also shaped in a way that we will be facing challenges as much as we will be facing happy times. So what I would like to send, the message that I want to send all of you here today is, taking Lisa McVey into our life, her story, I would like to suggest, if we are at our lowest and when we're giving up, and when we realize there's no one around us at that particular time to support us, and when we're thinking about thoughts, we're having thoughts to kill ourselves or to harm ourselves, or to literally just thinking of not waking up so that we can get over the problem that is eating our soul in and out, we could actually refer to Lisa McVey's survival, in the sense that she wanted to kill herself at gunpoint. She wanted to shoot her head, and the serial killer wanted to kill her the same way too. When she decided to do it on herself, she was all in, she was all set, she was giving up in her life, and the next moment she's going to pull the trigger and kill herself. But when the serial killer wanted to do the same thing to her, killing her at gunpoint, pointing the gun at her head, and he wanted to shoot her head, she did not give up. She was literally begging for her life, and even before that she was trying to be as good as possible so that she doesn't trigger him, because she was literally fighting for her life. She did not want to die when she knew that she was in the hands of a monstrous human being. So what I want to tell you all here is, when we are battling these kind of feelings, why not we look at our challenges as serial killers, like whatever challenge that is coming to us and which is bothering us and which is slowly demotivating us and bringing us to another dimension where we're thinking about killing ourselves or to harm ourselves. Why not we look at that particular challenge or whatever that is which is bothering us to that extent as a serial killer who is trying to rip our life apart in a very bad and brutal manner. So when we look at our challenges that way, we will realize that we're not going to give up. We're not going to give up our life to that serial killer, to that challenge that we're looking at as a serial killer now, because that serial killer does not have any rights on our life. We're not going to give up. We're not going to die in the hands of that particular serial killer. We're going to fight till the end, just like what Lisa McVey did. So I'm hoping that this message that I'm sharing with you, after sharing the short story of Lisa McVey, will reach all of you, and it will be motivating for all of you, and it will be a message for all of us. It's also for me, because I have my lowest times as well. I battle with a lot of issues as well. All of us do. Sometimes we don't know what kind of issues is going to come our way and how it's going to trigger us, but it happens to all of us. We shouldn't be ashamed to admit that we are human beings and we are facing problems in a daily basis. We shouldn't be ashamed to admit that, because that's the fact. We all face issues, we all face triggers in our life daily. So this message is for me and for every one of us. Let us take our challenges, let us look at our challenges from a different point altogether. Let us look at all those triggers that are like, you know, threatening our lives and trying to kill our soul and trying to, you know, blackmail us and trying to make us kill ourselves or harm ourselves. Let us look at all these triggers as serial killers after our souls and lives, and we are gonna fight these serial killers till the end, because our life is ours alone and we have to deal with it. We have to deal with the situation bravely, and no serial killer has the right to take our life away. So I hope this message is beneficial for all of us, especially during a very challenging period right now. But even without the pandemic, we all have been battling with something every day since the day we are born as human beings. We can never escape that. So I hope this reaches out to everyone. I wish you all the best, and I will see you all again with important information or important interviews. Until then, please take care of yourself, take care of your heart, take care of your feelings, and take care of everyone around you. You can make a difference by showing yourself empathy and showing empathy for everyone. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you all soon. Good day. Bye-bye.